20 years can teach a person how to survive silence, but nothing prepares you for the moment your own children suddenly remember you exist, only because they need something from you. I spent 2 decades calling, writing letters, sending birthday gifts, Christmas presents, and heartfelt messages to my daughter Emily and my son Nathan. Every voicemail ended with the same words: "I love you. I miss you. I hope you are happy." Yet every year passed without a single reply, no phone call, no thank you, no invitation, and no explanation. I lived alone after my husband died, surrounded by old family photographs that reminded me of happier days when we were poor but deeply connected. Every morning I stared at those pictures, wondering exactly when I had become invisible to my own children. I never stopped trying. I spent money I could barely afford on expensive gifts because I believed one thoughtful package might reopen the door they had slammed shut. Cashmere scarves, collector books, jewelry, bicycles for grandchildren I had never even met. I worked hard all my life to raise Emily and Nathan after their father passed away unexpectedly. I took extra jobs, sacrificed vacations, ignored my own health, and poured every dollar into giving them better opportunities than I ever had. They grew into successful adults with beautiful homes, impressive careers, and perfect families. The only thing missing from those perfect lives was me. Then, after 20 years of silence, I received an elegant invitation to Emily's birthday celebration. Hope exploded inside me. I convinced myself this was finally the moment everything would change. I bought a beautiful dress with money I should have saved. I purchased an expensive silver gift that emptied my emergency fund because I wanted my daughter to know I still loved her despite everything. When I arrived, the house looked like something from a luxury magazine. Wealthy guests laughed under sparkling lights while live music played across the garden. Emily greeted me with a fake smile before leaving me alone in a corner. Nathan saw me but acted as though I were a stranger. I watched families hugging each other while memories flooded my mind. I remembered staying awake beside hospital beds when my children were sick, working 3 jobs after my husband died, and crying alone every Christmas after they stopped inviting me into their lives. Every sacrifice suddenly felt forgotten. As the evening continued, Emily's husband invited everyone to gather around a stage for a special announcement. They proudly revealed plans to build a luxurious beach house that would remain in the family for generations. Then Emily called me onto the stage in front of dozens of guests. At first, I believed they wanted to welcome me back into the family. Instead, Nathan pulled out legal documents and calmly explained they expected me to contribute almost $200,000 from the savings I had left after selling my late husband's home. Suddenly, every unanswered call, every ignored message, and every lonely birthday made perfect sense. They had not invited their mother. They had invited a bank account. For a moment, I stood there frozen while everyone watched. Then something inside me changed forever. 20 years of begging disappeared in an instant. I calmly refused to sign anything and walked away. Nathan followed me outside, warning that if I refused, I would never be welcome at family gatherings again. I looked him in the eyes and realized I had already spent 20 years excluded from their lives. They had nothing left to threaten me with. That night, I returned home and made the most important decision of my life. Instead of waiting for them to love me, I chose to love myself. I hired an attorney, legally changed my name, sold my apartment, closed every bank account, updated my will, removed both children from every legal document, and moved to a quiet coastal town where nobody knew my past. I left everything I owned to a charity supporting abandoned elderly women because they understood loneliness better than anyone. Months later, my children desperately searched for me. Lawyers called claiming forgotten inheritance money had appeared. When that failed, they even sued me, accusing me of abandoning my family. During the court hearing, my attorney presented years of unanswered messages, receipts for expensive gifts, phone records, and proof of every attempt I had made to stay connected. The truth became impossible to deny. My children had abandoned me long before I ever disappeared. The judge dismissed their lawsuit completely and openly criticized their selfishness. He explained that love could never be demanded, only when money was involved. For the first time in decades, someone finally saw my pain and acknowledged the truth I had carried alone for so many years. Today, I live peacefully by the ocean under my new name. I walk the beach every morning, drink coffee on my balcony, and spend time with friends who became the family I chose instead of the family that rejected me. One day, my daughter mailed me a heartfelt apology admitting every mistake she had made. I believed her regret was genuine, but I never answered. Some wounds heal only by walking away instead of returning. I eventually realized something that changed my life forever. I did not lose my children. They lost a mother who loved them without limits. I stopped measuring my worth by people who never valued it and finally discovered that peace is far more precious than forgiveness forced by guilt. Sometimes the strongest revenge is not anger, wealth, or victory. Sometimes it is simply living a happy life without the people who taught you how loneliness feels.